the one and the only Boris's Berries, starring CEO Megumi Prevo and members Natalie Kane, Sebastian Garcia, Jake Rains, and Jake VC. Now please give your full attention to Boris's Berries.
Good evening, and thanks for joining us for this edition of Boris's Berries. I'm Jake VC, and once again, I am pleased to tell you we have an incredible episode in store for you. We had the opportunity to dig deeper into one of the largest pharmaceutical companies in the world. Our team of reporters and analysts dug deeper into Roche Pharmaceuticals, and let's check out what they found. This evening, we are going to start with Jake Rains for some background information on this business. Jake, take it over.
Thanks, Jake. So here we're going to talk about the biggest comparison or other company, Pfizer, who are also in the pharmaceutical company. This is just a background of their industry. So we have their general business. They distribute vaccines, medications, consumer health products, any of the above. They also commit to activities such as treatment and research on diseases. Um, Pfizer's biggest acknowledgement was probably the COVID vaccine. They helped create a lot of vaccines relating to these diseases and different flu issues. They also have statistics such as having almost 80,000 employees globally. Um, Also, a 76 billion in revenue for them to use. That's mostly seen through like their COVID vaccines and how they've been used throughout the U.S. and the world. 39 worldwide manufacturing sites. Worldwide, of course, right here. That's also, for example, of COVID vaccines. They had to ship them everywhere, so having that globalization was key. How their supply chain works is they manufacture based on the type of the drug, and then they distribute it. So the distribution is the most important because it can be through mailing companies sent to authorized providers, family businesses, pharmacies, hospitals, and they get sent to patients. So that's just Pfizer. And then we have Roche. So Roche is different because Roche is more strategic. Their treatment, innovation, and partnerships are all key. They also have their CEO right here, and they personalize their own personalized healthcare. They have early detection, accurate diagnostics, remote monitoring tools, and this is all for treatment. Um, their innovation consists of having large investments such as 13 billion, 17 worldwide manufacturing sites, and over 100,000 employees. So a lot bigger on the employee scale, but maybe there's less worldwide manufacturing sites because they're mostly in manufacturing in Japan. Their partnerships, over 250 partnerships, helps them advance in different types of illnesses such as cancer immunity, and also new inventions leading to antibodies, which is another thing Pfizer did, but they didn't um, conclude to antibodies. And that's this about the strategy of Roche. Back to Jake.
Great. Thank you, Jake, for that report. In addition to our research on this big business, CEO Megumi had the privilege to meet with former Roche CEO Hiroki Shigeta. This picture here shows Mr. Shigeta on his first day as CEO. Mr. Shigeta, the former CEO of the Japanese branch, which was their second largest to the switched main branch, will explain about the big business. Megumi will continue our team coverage and explain her findings from the interview.
I'm here with Hiroaki Shigeta, who's currently in Los Angeles, California. He is the former CEO of the Japanese branch of the Roche Pharmaceutical Company. Hi! And also my grandpa. So I'm just going to jump right into the questions.
Okay.
What would you say a normal day at work at this company would entail?
When I was working, yeah.
Yeah, just an
So
average day
usually
at work.
Yeah, it's the job involved a lot of traveling inside Japan and outside Japan. But when I'm in the office, I usually go start working in the office around 6:30 or 7 in the morning.
Mhm.
Uh, my wife always wondered why I was leaving so early, but that is the best time that you can have your own time, so to speak, because there are no meetings and people won't come in that hour. So it's a good time to be there. So the first until 9 o'clock, I will get many of the paperwork done,
Mm.
signs, signatures and or approving expenses and things like that, administrative
Mhm.
tasks. So at 9 o'clock, I usually start with some sort of a meeting, a staff meeting or a marketing meeting or production meeting or all kinds of meetings.
Mhm.
And the day will be spent typically by having all these meetings throughout the day, unless I have other meetings outside the office with the industry people or people meeting other people from other companies or meeting my clients or
Mhm.
customers. So yeah, it's a full of meetings, and
Yeah.
at night usually have many occasions. I usually have dinner with customers
Mm.
or dinner with the industry colleagues. So many dinners actually.
Okay.
So that's the kind of day that typical day that
Yeah.
I would spend.
Okay. Um. Perfect. What were your biggest challenges managing a large company?
Well, number one was obviously meeting the rather ambitious targets that I set with my boss
Mhm.
for the company in terms of financial performance. That means profit and sales growth and market share. So all these performance targets
Mhm.
that I set with my boss for the company, I think that is meeting those target figures was
Yeah.
always a challenge.
Mm.
And also another challenge was to keep employees motivated
Mm.
uh, and inspired to work harder. So in order to do that, I try to have meetings with employees and try to see what their needs are, how they are working, to meet their own target,
Yeah.
which in turn contribute to the company target.
Yeah.
So this is also a very challenging work. I think that's challenging for every CEO to make sure that your employees are properly motivated,
Mhm.
so that they can perform best to their abilities. So yeah, and the third is I think to meet how the company is meeting social challenges. That means how the company perceived by the community, and so that means what the company is doing for on behalf of the society
Mm.
and the community that where it belongs. So these are also this is also a big challenge
Mm.
for me.
Mhm. And next question is, what was one of your biggest or most difficult tasks as CEO? So this is sort of very similar
Mhm.
to the last question, but
Yeah.
maybe if you had like a specific moment that you could tell us that you were
Yes.
really stressed
Mhm.
or anything. Yeah.
Well, I think it was most difficult thing was when the company was faced with a situation where became obvious that we were not going to get any new products, new drugs to the market. It takes, as you may know, in the pharmaceutical industry, it usually takes 10 to 15 years before you can bring your one uh, drug to the market through the research and development and the clinical trials and approval by the government. So the whole process takes about 10 to 15 years. So in our case, when I was running the company in the first part of my career there as a CEO, we were faced with a very difficult situation where we knew no new product was forthcoming. So we have to we have to make our current portfolio products grow. So that is also a challenge because these products are not very new; they are old. So you really have to keep pushing these products.
Yeah.
And it's faced a lot of competition because with new products. Anyway, when this situation became obvious, I tried to see if I could meet a profit sales and profit targets that I mentioned earlier. That was a very challenging thing to achieve the sales and the profit goals. Anyway, as no new products were forthcoming, I have to really make our existing sales to grow.
Yeah.
And in this way, I try to let some people go. In other words, I have to downsize my company. So I had to let go about 300 people.
Oh, wow.
And that was almost 10 to 12% of the total number of employees that was working for Nippon Roche. That's the name of the company, by the way. Anyway, so I had to let go 300 people. Elon Musk, let go 5,000 people. So it was nowhere close to that kind of magnitude of number. But for us, it was a very difficult decision to do it, to downsize the company. And downsizing is easy to do it, but letting people go or laying off people was a very, very difficult decision for me, also personally. But this was the most difficult time in my career where we were not getting any new products approved by government. And then we had to live with the products we already have, and we were a little bit oversized to do it because my predecessor hired quite a number of people because he was expecting to get a new product on the market, but they were not coming to the market. So I had to cut down some people so that I can meet my sales and profit goal. So I would say that was the most challenging and most difficult decision that I made in my career with that company. So yeah,
Perfect.
I think that was it. Yep.
And moving right on, I understand your business runs in the branches like Japan and Switzerland, etc.
Right.
You being the CEO of the Japan branch, were there people who worked above you? And if not, or alongside, how was it working alongside other CEOs of the other branches?
Yeah. Well, Japan for Roche was one of the most important markets. We are one of the large subsidiaries or branch companies for Roche in the world. The USA was number one, obviously. It's a huge company, huge country, and but Japan was in size and sales revenue. We were the second largest Roche subsidiary in the world. So we usually have every quarter we had a CEO meetings for the top 5 companies. That was the interaction I had with CEO, not CEO, but another Roche subsidiary. So USA, England, Japan, number 2, Japan, of course, and we have a regional office in Asia. So that was also a big operation per se. It includes China and all these other places. So the head of that Asia group was representing that group as the CEO of that group. So we had top 5 companies CEOs get together every quarter, and there you have to show in front of other colleagues how you're doing your job. So when your sales are not going well, so it's a difficult meeting to attend because you have to show how bad you're doing. So you don't do that, right? So anyway, this is a very good meeting in the sense that I could talk to other colleagues in the same stature, the CEO, and what the experience is, and how other competitive companies are doing in their own territory or area. So it's a good meeting, that the quarterly meeting we have where we can share our opinions and experiences with other CEOs.
Okay, perfect. So,
right.
So our next question is, was business different within Japan as opposed to Switzerland or the other branches? So I understand that it's obviously a very big branch. So
my business was very, very different. I think from, for example, let's compare Japan and USA. And Japan is totally has a total social insurance system. And in other words, the government pays for a drug expenditures. So in other words, insurance is paid by government, as opposed to U.S. where insurance is private. So or it's Medicare. There is a government-supported insurance, but it's most of the people until they become 63 have to have a private insurance, health insurance. But in Japan, they are all paid by the government, which means which has a lot of effect on the pharmaceutical industry, because in Japan, all these the drug prices are totally regulated by the government. So in other words, when you have a one drug approved by the government, it gets a price by the government because government is paying for it. So they will define the price of that drug. In the United States, on the other hand, all these prices are free. So the manufacturers can set their own prices because they are paid by the insurance. You know what I mean?
That makes sense.
So this has a total bearing. I don't know if you understand this mechanism, because in Japan, the drug prices is very low because it's paid by the government. So the government tries to keep the drug prices as low as possible so that they can afford to pay. On the other hand, in the United States, drug prices are based on free pricing. So the companies can set their own prices, and certainly insurance company can dictate also how much they will pay for.
Mm-hmm.
Right, not 100% paid by
Yeah.
the insurance, but it's not government has nothing to do with it. So
Mm-hmm.
the private companies set their own prices. So this has a really very significant impact on how we do business in Japan, because drug prices are very low in
Mm-hmm.
Japan. So that means you have to really make sure that you can get sufficient profit
Right.
out of it. But in the U.S., I think it's it's getting to be a problem here too, because
Yeah.
people complain that the drug prices are too high.
Mm-hmm.
You have heard of it, no? Here in the U.S., people say drug prices are just too exorbitant.
Mm-hmm.
But that is true compared to other countries where there's a national health insurance, like Japan, you know, Canada,
Mm-hmm.
and the United Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
They all have a government
Mm-hmm.
insurance. Uh, the U.S. In the U.S., drug prices are generally
Yeah.
very high. Yeah.
So I don't mean to. I don't have Pro on Zoom, so the meeting is going to
Oh,
end in 10 minutes.
okay.
Um,
Oh,
so I'm just letting you know. So I only have like two more questions left,
okay.
and they're pretty simple. So if you could make them kind of short, that'd be great.
Yep. Okay.
Um, so the next question is, it's two questions, but I'm gonna put it into one. How did you work up to this position? What traits are looked for in your position, and what's your educational background into getting this? And
Oh,
or
I
did it
see.
help you get into this position?
Yes. Okay. I think first of all, I think this you have to have some experience in science is certainly useful. But
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have anything like that. I have more liberal arts background, and
Mm-hmm.
so. But I think you can uh, get gain that kind of experience by working for the pharmaceutical company. I mean, you can start learning about the pharmacology and pharmaceutical aspects of products,
Mm-hmm.
and this. So that's without science background. I think you can learn these things, and
Mm-hmm.
so you don't have to be a scientist to work for pharmaceutical companies. Then,
Mm-hmm.
so that's what I wanted to say. You and trade. I think you have to have a ambition to really do it. And I had always wanted to work for a foreign company, so to speak, so that I could they could send me to different places in the world. So as a matter of fact, by working for Roche, they sent me Switzerland. They sent me to work in Brazil, and Portugal, Switzerland,
Right.
Canada. So they I was able to gain this overseas experiences
Mm-hmm.
in running department and company and all these things.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a benefit of working for a foreign company, so to speak. So
Right.
I was able to do that, and I joined the first. I spent my entire business career in the pharmaceutical industry.
I think the advice I have for those young people who may want to pursue a career in business, I think one thing you have to ask before you choose your company is that what kind of company you are. It is. Is it the what's the purpose of this company being? Is it a is it for example pharmaceutical industry? I was looking at it. I was working as the purpose of being is to prolong the life of people by providing pharmaceuticals, uh, new research-based pharmaceuticals. So I think every company, every business has this uh, purpose of being. What is it? What is it for? What is the company for? What is intend to achieve? What contribution does it want to make to society? I think that's important. No matter what size of company you are working for, I think it's quite important. And in searching, I think once you join a company, I think you should be open-minded, and you're always willing to learn new things. I think these are important trait you should have. So good luck. I think that's the message I wanted to deliver. Bye.
That was awesome, Meg. Thank you so much for that report. And we would like to thank Mr. Hiroki Shigeta for taking the time to speak with our Megumi. Roche Pharmaceuticals has a lot in store for its customers and employees. Sebastian Garcia is going to go in depth and explain his findings. Sebas?
Roche is one of the most popular known biotech companies, as they have many varying degrees of learning and committing yourself to in the field with their multiple jobs, and their reputation as the largest biotech company in 2022. Roche Industries was the leading provider for in vitro diagnostics, which are tests that can detect diseases, conditions, and infections. This is exceptionally important for a large-scale company like Roche, because for a company like them, finding out which diseases or which in turn helps them find new cures and solutions to the diseases they are working to fix, as they need a base to start working towards an end goal. In vitro tests are a vital key for pharmaceuticals and a company like Roche, global supplier for general transformative solutions for major diseases. As said earlier, Roche is known for their role in being able to provide an efficient and working solvent for many diseases. This general, direct connection and being able to be the supplier for their medicine helps ensure their name is out there and a reputable source out there when researched, as their name will be on every popular medicinal item they create. As of right now, Roche is the fifth biggest pharmaceutical company in the world. In 2022, before COVID-19, they were number one, which goes to show if it wasn't for the virus that took many by storm, they would most likely be number one still. Roche Industries is the leading provider of cancer treatments globally as of 2015, which is something very notable for a pharmaceutical company, showing their prowess and skill to all competitors. Strategy of Roche Industries. Patients' needs. Patients' needs are something that should be heavily prioritized in a pharmaceutical, as they are not only what you are responsible for, but also are a direct source of feedback and responsibility. To ensure the patient's need is a given for any pharmaceutical, Roche goes far and beyond expectations by being able to show such clarity with their procedures, and their name being so notable when it comes to medicine. Revolutionizing healthcare is a strategy for Roche as well, which is important, because it also gets their name out and will exponentially increase reputation and name in the community of healthcare. This feat being able to become listed in a strategy shows their pride in what they do, and their word being kept to, and their skill. Right treatment. Right treatment for a pharmaceutical looking to provide everything correct is vital. One popular skill of Roche is finding new things, but that shouldn't be the only thing spoken for, as they do ensure their patients' needs, shown by their ability to provide correctly with their ability to find the right medicine for every situation as well. Business for Roche. Diverse scientific approaches. With diversity comes different ideas, different methods of learning and taking in information, or using that information to help better the current knowledge known to you. Mistakes help greatly, and with each method and approach taken into account, you get a lot more information to use in the future. Embrace innovative ideas. To accept multiple ideas helps improve your method of thinking and again creates diversity. An answer that might reveal itself when approached differently, and not sticking to one idea that had solved the problem before. Every form of thinking is valid and will find a use in the pharmaceutical field. Roche hosts many areas of expertise, and their range is incredible, as although known for biotech, they have a lot to offer for those fields. These include categories like research, culture, manufacturing and supply, engineering, technology, commercial and communication. The big range helps people who are interested in the field not get dissuaded by the specific themes that they might associate with the category of simply biotech. Roche hosts many locations, allowing for their product to be sold and distributed, while also helping range their acceptance and team by having many places open and available for people to go to Roche for working purposes and anything related of the sort. Because Roche is such a big name, their acceptance might be strict, but they have courses, trainings, and lessons for anything that might aid someone looking for a career at Roche to use and help them succeed and excel at what they do, like vocational training as one example. Work at Roche has been positively rated by workers, which is to be expected for a company like Roche, as they have an environment with a gym and many more rooms that will make the workplace feel lively and not constricting as a workspace for others. Back to you, Jake.
Thank you, Seabass. As you heard, Roche Pharmaceuticals isn't going anywhere with all that it has in store. Now we are going to take a closer look at home and what Roche Pharmaceuticals is doing to affect us in our everyday lives. Natalie Kane and I will guide you through this part of our coverage. Roche Pharmaceuticals, the nation's leading biotech company with truly differentiated medicines in oncology, immunology, infectious diseases, and diseases of the central nervous system, with a goal of helping patients live longer, better lives, is more known to you than you would ever think. Roche could actually be benefiting you and you wouldn't even know it, or it even could be helping you treat a disease. Roche works diligently to ensure that all customers are receiving the best possible care. Roche Pharmaceuticals has combined its strength in pharmaceuticals and data-driven solutions. Roche has helped develop diagnostic tests, instruments, and digital solutions with the power to transform healthcare for people around the globe. They have even developed and manufactured vitro tests for the diagnosis of various diseases that include cancer, diabetes, COVID-19, hepatitis, human papillomavirus, and many others. Although Roche mainly distributed to hospitals and clinical laboratories, that doesn't mean you haven't came in contact with a Roche product. I bet you didn't know this. This COVID test could have been manufactured by Roche, and you wouldn't have even known it. These are the COVID tests that the federal government had given out to you during the COVID-19 pandemic. Another interesting fact, LabCorp, one of our area's leading testing sciences companies, which has a mission to improve health and improve lives. LabCorp delivers world-class diagnostic solutions, brings innovative medicine to patients faster, and uses technology to improve the delivery of care. LabCorp is owned by Roche Diagnostics. That is our leading sciences company. Now that you have learned a little bit about the far-reaching impacts of Roche, please turn your attention over to Natalie Kane. She's going to continue our team coverage and explain more about Roche. Natalie?
Thank you, Jake. I'll now be talking about the qualifications needed to get a job at Roche. First, you must attend a 4-year institution and major in a field such as biology or medicinal chemistry, take the Pharmacy College Admission Test, or the PCAT, apply to a pharmacy school and earn a doctoral degree, and then complete a formal internship, residency program, and experiential learning in pharmacy practice settings. The hours needed will depend on state licensing requirements. Next, you have to take 2 licensure exams and satisfy any prerequisite requirement set out by the state you'll practice in. And lastly, just keep in mind that you will be required to participate in continuing pharmacy education and continuing professional development opportunities as part of licensure. Now I'm going to be talking about some of the marketing strategies of Roche. Roche's campaign involves increasing disease awareness to improve access to healthcare. They use social media marketing such as Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn, and they target different segments such as geographic segmentation, which divides the market into geographical areas such as city, country, and region. They use demographic segmentation, which necessitates Roche dividing the market based on demographic characteristics such as gender, age, income, and ethnicity. If they opt for behavioral segmentation, customers will be divided based on their purchasing habits such as usage frequency, benefits sought, usage associations, and brand loyalty. And lastly, customers will be grouped. I'm sorry, I'm laughing because this is stupid. The umbrella is like wavering and I can't not make it waver. Okay, whatever. And lastly, customers will be grouped based on their lifestyles, interests, attitudes, values, and traits if psychographic segmentation is used. I'm Natalie Kane reporting for Boris's Berries. Let's go back to Jake in the studio.
Great job, Natalie, as always. That will conclude our episode. From the entire team here at Boris's Berries, we thank you for watching. And don't forget, we've been playing economics since '05.
Yeah!